Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. At Forrester Creations, the fashion show continues on the runway as the influencers and Christine from Genoa City look on, all smiles. Confidentially, Ivy, Steffy and Carter rave about how great everything looks. Donna and Katie tell Eric that Brook is getting into her glam to model the looker. Eric wants Ridge to flash back who he's with Brook. He wants them to get back together. Donna says nothing will stop her from getting up on that stage. In the locked room, Brook exclaims to Taylor that this is a vault it locks from the outside. Taylor didn't bring her phone, so they're trapped. Brook harangues that this just proves her point. You have no business then at Forrester Creations. Backstage, Steffi reminds the models to really vend the scent out there. Katie does a voice over reminding the crowd of the new product. Zenden will gush about how much the crowd is feeling it. Will looks over at Elektra and smiles. Meanwhile, the followership members breathe in the scent created by Daphne Rose. In the locked room, Brook harangues at Taylor that this is a veritably important day for her and Forrester Creations. Taylor wonders why she's in a mask. Brook pounds on the door and calls for someone to get her out of there. Help! On the runway, the action continues with gold and green gowns on display. Confidentially, Zen says, "Great show, Grandad." He thinks it's some of his and Ridge's stylish work yet. Eric appreciates him staying with the company when the achievement passed. Zend admits it was hard, but it was his duty. Eric tells him he's making his mark out there moment too. They agree to celebrate latterly, and Zend walks off. Eric asks Elektra and Will to look for Brook since the looker is over soon. Meanwhile, Steffi asks Ridge if he's seen her mama. In the locked room, Taylor can't understand why Brook's freaking out so much. Is she claustrophobic? She didn't do this on purpose and isn't thrilled about it. Moreover, Brook would like to get on and be musketeers or grown-ups, for the sake of the kiddies and grandkids. Taylor thinks it's important for her to be honest about betraying Ridge. A day like this might not have happened again. Every time he looks at her, he's reminded of how she made him feel. I do suppose there's one thing you could do to make Ridge see you else again. Brook smirks deliberately. Brook keeps pounding on the door and calling out. Taylor wants to know if she'll ever give up on Ridge. Brook says he still calls her his Logan. Taylor doesn't want him calling her that presently. Brook looks at the videotape feed and realizes it's nearly time for the looker. She resumes pounding on the door and hollowing. Backstage, Will and Elektra tell Katie that Brook's gone missing. They've looked far and wide. They head off to find her. Meanwhile, Carter, Ridge, Steffi, Zend, and Daphne watch the runway and Ridge and Carter talk about how happy they've made peace. Ridge goes to give his pater a clinch, but Eric admits he's upset. I'm upset about the looker. In the locked room, Brook tells Taylor that Ridge needs her. Taylor says he's busy and isn't allowing about her. Brook snaps. He'll be. Katie, Elektra, and Will arrive outside the door and realize Brook is in there. The Golden hollers that Taylor locked her in there. Katie promises they'll get her out. Charlie shows up and harangues that this is a secure area. Katie tells him her family's locked in the vault. Charlie comes up with the key and Katie lets Brook out. In the confidentially area, Eric tells Ridge to go talk to the followership while he finds the looker. Katie swells Eric over. Ridge goes out on the runway and thanks everyone for being there. Behind the scenes, Donna, Katie, and Eric get Brook into the looker. Eric tells the Golden she's stunning. Ridge is going to feel the same way he always has. She thanks him. He tells her, "Go on." On stage, Ridge is telling the crowd they may have to cut the show short, when Brook steps out behind him on the runway. He recalls Brook in Portofino as he sensations at her in the white gown, shakes his head and sensations. Brook holds out her hand and he runs up to take it. Behind the curtain, Taylor watches the two of them together with dismay. Taylor Hayes' accident wrecked Brook Logan and Eric Forrester's top-secret plan for Ridge Forrester. As everyone geared up for the Forrester fashion show, Steffi Forrester saluted Christine Blair along with Spencer Pratt and Heidi Montag. Elektra Forrester was impressed over the social media influencers' presence at the event. Will Spencer took a moment to flirt with Elektra in the midst of all the fun. Ivy Forrester was also on hand to promote the jewelry line, while Daphne Rose showed off Forrester's new incense immolations. Carter Walton praised Daphne over the collection, so she made another attempt to pull him in her direction romantically. As for Eric Forrester and Brook Logan, they kept talking about a surprise for Ridge that he'd no indication about. It came egregious that Brook would be the one wearing the grand looker. Eric made prognostications about Ridge being surprised and obviously hoped to grease their reunion. Ridge invited Taylor to come be part of the fests, but Brook wasn't happy about her presence confidentially. A couple of incidents proved that Taylor was in the way, so Brook allowed she should join the guests out front. Taylor disaccorded with Brook, who ultimately headed to a dressing room and got some help preparing for her shining moment. As Katie Logan and Donna Logan pitched in, some disparaging commentary about Taylor were made. Eric popped up to principally clarify that he wasn't trying to take down Taylor. He just allowed Ridge and Brook belong together. Charlie Weber made it clear that he was on top of security when it came to the couture dresses, which is commodity that came into play for plot purposes latterly. Taylor eventually brazened Brook alone in the dressing room, and shut the door to stop Brook from walking out their battle. The door locked from the outside due to the redundant security measures, so Brook flipped out over Taylor's boob. Ridge made a speech to protest off the fashion show and sang Carter's praises before the models hit the runway. When it was time for the looker, Brook was stuck confidentially with Taylor, and no bone could hear Brook banging and seeking help. Brook and Taylor's feud is about to get indeed worse, so we'll bring you updates on all the bad news that's still to come. Liam Spencer rejected his grim fate and was prepared to fight while Hope Logan faced Carter Walton's plea. As John Finnegan put away Kelly Spencer in at the Precipice House, he reflected on her private cotillion party with Liam and felt confident this would always be a night. She flashed back. Finn allowed Kelly would be an old grandma one day and suppose back on how special Liam made effects for her. Kelly felt lucky to have two daddies, so Finn was proud to be one of them, though he could no way replace Liam's spot in her life. While Kelly reflected on Liam's pledge to always be there for her, Liam was confused over Steffy Forrester's news in the living room. Liam felt like this must be some kind of joke and that he could inconceivably be dying. As Liam battled a headache, Steffy claimed that he demanded to return to the sanitarium now that the reviews had set up an inoperable mass. Liam ultimately accepted Steffy's medical updates were real, but he felt like there'd surely be some way for ultramodern drug to save him. When Steffy remained distrait, Liam started rambling about how he couldn't just leave his daughters and no way come back. This didn't make any sense to Liam since he lived a healthy life, so he plotted to believe he couldn't overcome his condition. Once Finn returned from Kelly's room, Liam turned to him for answers next and wondered if he was really dying. Finn backed Steffy up about the inoperable mass, so Liam asked how they should treat it also. Still, Finn's response made it clear that there was no treatment for Liam other than trying to decelerate the excrescence's progression. After Liam reminded Steffy and Finn that no one could know he was ill, he suggested there could be some way to fix this. Liam talked about believing in commodity beyond wisdom and drug before making a vaticination about sticking around for his daughters. After Liam made a bold rejection of his death judgment, he declared that he'd too important to live for. At Il Giardino, Deacon told Sheila about using his fists to advise Carter down from Hope. Cleric also suggested about how Liam had grown as a person, so he remained hopeful that Hope and Liam might have a reunion in their future. At Brook House, Carter showed up to say he missed Hope and that he abominated being piecemeal. After some talk about the forthcoming fashion show, Carter tried to make Hope understand his perspective following all the Forrester drama. Hope remained worried with Carter for not supporting her when she demanded him most. Carter also decided to surrender power without agitating it with Hope first, though she was starting to see she shouldn't have gone on with the preemption that was his idea. After Hope reflected on the fermentation she'd been through since her divorce from Liam, Carter realized she'd been allowing about her ex-husband. Hope talked about doing some soul-searching before Carter formally again prayed for their own chance at a future together. Liam's medical extremity will bring some curveballs for the people he cares about.